Welcome to Smart Branding, a podcast dedicated to branding, naming, and domain names. I'm Tatiana Bonneau, and with my guests, we try to help you create and grow strong, memorable, and meaningful brands online. I believe time is one of our most precious assets, and so I want to thank you in advance if you decide to spend the next 30 minutes with us. I promise to do my best to make those worth it. Let's go. My guest today is Itamar Bar. He's the co-founder. That's the case, right? So him and his brother co-founded Jorny, the first ever global community focused on the second half of life. So we're going to talk about that and their journey. Thank you for joining us, Itamar. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Super excited to be here.
Great. Let's start with a bit of a background. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey with your brother. How did you get to Jorny?
Right. So actually, the name Jorny for our company hasn't been chosen by coincidence. It's actually a pick in both of our journeys, very different journeys in life, but there are very important similarities. To name a few is that we're both very driven, I would say, very accomplished human beings, individuals. Both of us did a lot of traveling, a lot of extreme adventures. My brother is more of a daredevil, a biker, a pilot. I'm a little bit more on the spiritual side, coming from psychology background, but also did a lot of traveling, a lot of exploration, inner exploration, different culture exploration. So we've both been into separate journeys, but I guess from similar reasons. After all, we're brothers. And I guess the big opportunity was to arrive to this point in life that we have the opportunity to start something together that really sits on this drive to, first of all, offer a way to accomplish or to find a purpose in later age. We are right now in the later age. We have reached the age of 50, both of us. We're not twins, but we're not very far apart. So I guess it's that time in life that you, if you're lucky enough, and I feel that we're both very lucky, get the opportunity to start something new, let alone with a family member coming from very similar motivations. So that's really the peak of our journey and also a new beginning.
So tell me, I have so many questions, like I'm going to try and not forget them as I'm asking. Tell me about what is Jorny about, the business. What does it do?
So the company uses hospitality locations in a very different way, though, than that it's usually been used. So as you mentioned yourself, it targets people who are 55 plus, people in their second half of life. And we're using hotels and resorts that are converted into a location where people can arrive to longer vacations and to really use that time in order to explore in different ways. There's a very broad range of experiences that we're offering in order for people to at least taste something that could potentially be serving them for personal growth. We started this because we believe that this is something that, first of all, we're naturally very good at. We were always, as I mentioned, very driven. We were always able to find our next best thing in many different ways. And we realized that not everybody is actually good in that. And also we realized that people reach an age where they're letting go many things. Kids are grown, career has reached its peak, and now it's really time to focus on yourself. But because people hadn't dealt with personal growth in their earlier years, so it becomes quite challenging to do that in the later years. So this is why we've started this business, to really bring people to a location with the community, which is, we believe, super important, for people to inspire each other, to support each other, and to just do things together, and to offer many experiences to them that they can choose from, and hopefully find something new that they can start, and hopefully start a new journey and come back and also, return to find something yet else, and yet again.
And tell me about the name. What was the process of choosing the name and the matching domain name?
Right. So, first of all, we are in the hospitality industry, so we felt very comfortable in with words and terms coming from a hospitality industry, but we really wanted to differentiate ourselves from other companies, and off the beaten track. So we knew that we have to figure out something new, but we did want to use a word that is familiar with some, and to alter it somehow. Mm-hmm. The term journey really came up again and again as once again what our own personal experience in life until now, until the age of 50, being able to experience so many things and to create our own separate journeys. And this is exactly what we all want to offer people. So when we realized that journey is the term that we're going to use, we then set with our branding agency, Squat NY, which are really amazing people. We did some really heavy thinking about how to make this term, which is very popular, unique to us. And and then with the unique word Jorny, which is actually based on a short pronunciation of the word, the full word Jorny. It's spelled Jorny.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you have the meaning, but you made it unique.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm. So before we go into a bit more about the business and how it works, and I would like to actually talk as well about that second half of life and how, a lot on that. Tell me, I mean, you mentioned you had your career and your path and your brother did, and then you ended up doing this together. How is that working out for you? I know a lot of people avoid working with family and generally mixing the two, business and personal life, and it can be challenging. And I'm sure there's also some upsides to it. So how does that work for you? And what tips would you have for people on that topic?
Right. So as you mentioned, there are very important benefits, but also challenges working with a family member, let alone a brother. We have very similar thinkings in specific areas, but very different thinking and very different personalities. I actually think that even though we experience quite a lot of challenges, the company and the whole concept of offering people personal growth and purpose in a later age really relies in the ability to experience something new. And so I see these challenges as really essential part of the business to be able to open my perspective to different ways of thinking, and to be able to share with my brother really different way of thinking and ways of working. Even though the challenges, I think that both of us are benefit as people, and I think that also the company really benefits. He brings things really different than what I would have brought, and vice versa. I bring things that are from my role, which are very different. So I think that we really enjoy, eventually, after overcoming the challenges from the different perspectives. And I think that the concept really gains from these very different perspectives, but still coming from people who are very rich and explored and full of different experiences. So I guess that the variety really contributes to the company.
So let's talk about how it works, the process. So tell me, like, somebody lands on the website, what happens?
So there's quite a lot of market education to be done over here. Even though we're using, once again, the hospitality as a platform for these long vacations, we definitely don't want to people to mistake and feel that it's yet another vacation, or just a usual just a hotel stay. So it's very important for us from the get-go to really point out that there is something different and new. We found that it's very relevant to start off with the community, because we realized that the first thing that comes to mind when people are expected to think about doing something new is who to do it with. So we thought that it's a good idea to put the community really in the top of the funnel, in the beginning of the, let's say, customer journey. Um, Here comes the term journey again, and really put it in front by promoting personal stories and people's experiences, how they were able to start something new, in order to inspire each other and to provide ideas. So we feel that that's working really nicely. We've opened quite a couple of social media channels. So actually the funnel or the customer journey starts from over there, with inspiration and content that supposed to encourage people to start really seriously start about doing something new and overcome whatever barriers that they may have. So the journey starts from over there. Soon enough, people are introduced even before the locations, and this is where the big change from any other hotel site that you would probably visit would probably start off from showing the amenities, showing the location, showing the some sceneries from the location. We actually start from the experiences. Our program and experiences, we call ourselves experience first hospitality company, and really the experiences are in the front. So after introduced to the community, you are introduced to the program, and over there we've encountered a very interesting challenge, because we have such a broad range of experiences. It was pretty challenging to show people all the options. We thought that people might get lost in the options. So we have developed a tool, a very unique tool on our website, which we call the Growth Campus, which helps you with a very short like assessment test to be able to understand what are your most potential growth areas. Hopefully people would an area which is not obvious and is really different than what they did until now in their life, and really take the opportunity to the max of starting something new. So this tool really encourages, first of all, it offers people different ideas and different experiences that we are offering based on their sort of like profiling, but also to really encourage them to find or to choose an area of growth which is not obvious and really different than what they did. So if, for example, you've been a very intellectual person, I don't know, a professor in the university, we might recommend you to grow in a spiritual area and offer you different activities that are based on spiritual growth, which, by the way, I personally feel that in this age is a super important and beneficial. So that's the way we encourage people to choose something that is counterintuitive. And then we introduce them to the different locations. Of course, most of the experiences are available online. So you are able to join the community and also to join most of the experiences even online with different classes and workshops that are offered. But hopefully, and that's like the pinnacle of the concept, they would eventually arrive to one of our 5 locations and take that vacation for personal growth, enjoying all the the mentoring on site, the amazing locations, and the power of the community in physical life, which is always stronger.
Absolutely. What are some of the most common misconceptions you see when it comes to that concept, to what you do? And I'm sure you have quite a list, because like it's the very core of what you're doing is based on that, people thinking, oh, that's it, I'm like 50 and like that's the way I'm going and that's going to be it until the end. So what are those, and how do you what are your tips for people? What is your advice for people to overcome this?
So first of all, as I mentioned, one of the misconceptions is that it's yet another hospitality or hotel company, which we definitely trying to change. But I guess that even more important than that, I think that people, and that's really crucial to our concept. It takes some time to realize after retiring that they have more excellent years to come, and usually not a very good idea in how to fill out this really precious time. This happens because our previous generations, like my parents, didn't have that time. Life expectancy was shorter, and people were working. There were no like retirement plans, and people were working longer. So there were a very short time period that you can like rest until you're put on a senior home, and that's like the last stop. Now we've granted many more years. We're granted 1 year every 5 years. That's what usually the research and science says. So there are many more years that you can make useful, but people don't realize the importance of finding purpose. They fill their schedule with different activities that sounds a lot of fun, I guess, for retirement, and I don't want to say anything bad about them, but probably playing golf for 15 years wouldn't be enough. You know what I mean? So you have to come up with something else, something meaningful, and you have the time, and you have the option, and a lot of people do have the money. It's good point to mention that we position Jorny as something that is really for everybody. It's not high class. It's not exclusive. It really doesn't cost that much to participate in Jorny's activities. So we believe that a lot of people, not enough people, know about the need or how important it is to find new paths in life, and we are really trying to raise the awareness. We're creating ebooks. We're going to podcasts and different conventions in order to really promote that message that purpose is important. And unfortunately, there are not a lot of companies that are really helping people to find that purpose with different tools and different programs as we are offering. And I would really be happy if more companies would realize that, and also governments. Not only companies. I mean, the concern of not having a purpose in later life should concern not only the individuals but also governments and society in general. People become lonely and become mentally not well, and even eventually sick if they don't have anything to do, and if they feel incapable and not independent enough. So that's what we were trying to promote, hopefully in an earlier age, not too late. So that's the challenge, going back to your question, to really make people understand that now is the time. This is why we're targeting people who are 55 and not much older, even though Jorny is for everybody. We'd love to see people who are, centenarians, 100 people and 100 years and more. But we do believe that the earlier you get to Jorny, the better you off. More experiences are open to you. You'll get just more benefits.
I was just thinking that as I was saying, as you were talking, and you actually ended on that it actually should start earlier. And I have that observation myself as well, very much, where people like they get into work, then it's kids, and then all of a sudden like the kids are gone, doing their thing, and people feel like what you said, when they don't have that purpose, and almost like they don't feel they should have that purpose. It's almost like they should continue to, do things for their kids or for their whatever, and it actually becomes a burden for everybody. I feel that, like I feel that with personal relationships as well, where you're like, no, just go and do your thing, I'm fine, just go and live your life. And it's so hard for people when they don't think about it, like they forget themselves early on, to find themselves again later on, when they actually, if you ask me honestly, like I'm about to turn 40, And I'm looking forward to 50. I'm like, that's going to be great. Kids are going to be out of the house. I feel much mentally, even physically, like I wasn't doing exercise when I was 20, much better now. So like, I feel,
Right.
unless I lose it in the next 10 years, but I feel I'm going to be fine. But a lot of people don't, a lot. And like you say, that should start early on.
Yes, I totally agree. And one of our what you call near markets is actually cruise ships. So a lot of people spend in that age bracket specifically, spend a lot of money, um, in cruise lines vacation, which we're all familiar with. The difference is that you usually have like a whole calendar of activities. The difference though is that these activities are mostly entertaining, and just intend to like pass the time. There's like a lot of like a lot of fun activities, a lot of alcohol involved, which I personally don't have any issue with, vice versa. But I really believe that this style of vacation, which is probably the most frequent in this age group, does not really leave you with something that you can continue developing. So people do go back many times to this kind of vacation and other forms of vacations, but we really believe that a vacation could be an excellent platform in order to develop yourself or to experience something new. You are far from home. You don't have your kids or your friends. I mean, you can arrive with your friends, and it's actually recommended, but you should let yourself go and really take care of yourself and offer yourself something new, a new start, a new beginning.
And what I thought of, like a lot of people feel like at that age they're like they can change, they can be something else, they can do something else, and there's a lot of that is just habits, but also a lot of that is what are people gonna say? Because I've been that person for like so long.
It's a great question. It's one of the reasons why we've partnered with Mary Webb-Tafoya. She's our in-house psychologist, and because we realize that there are barriers. There are emotional barriers. There are definitely physical barriers that might arise where we're taking a lot of consideration into this. And the company is not about counseling or therapy. We definitely don't want to be perceived in this sense, but we are aware of the fact that people who haven't achieved growth in many years might be blocked in some ways or giving up some of their passions, and we are all about bringing back passions or encouraging people. This is why we created this environment, the location, the community, the program, the mentors, the people on the ground are all specifically designed in order to encourage people to achieve that growth. And also with Mary, what we're doing is we're trying to tackle the different barriers that people might have, whether they're really emotional, or historical, just saying, I'm not that kind of person. So different solution to different issues, but we're definitely aware of the fact that people might have put like different limitations and different barriers on themselves, and we believe that most of them can be taken off, and creating the right environment can really bring people to new places.
And do you have something? And that's just like, and I just thought of it. Is there a way because you have the platform set up such that people can use it themselves? What about like getting people? It's not a recommendation. It's almost like if you look at somebody and go, you should go and do that. Like, is there a way to do that?
I don't know if it's what you were asking exactly, but we realized a while ago that while we do want to offer people ways to, or encourage them to achieve personal growth, pretty much every person that you encounter in this age group has been here 50 or 55 years and has the skills the knowledge, some expertise that he can share with others. So we are regarding Jorny as not only a service or a product that we're offering other people, but also something that people can contribute themselves and create this like cross-functioning economy. Let's say let's call it like that, and really encourage people to step up. And maybe my personal growth would be to teach somebody else something new and not just to be taught. Let alone that some people feel more comfortable in teaching somebody, especially people who have gained really substantial knowledge. And we are really hoping to meet these people specifically, as well as other people who may need the encouragement and the tools to achieve their growth themselves. So we do believe that growth can go in both ways. And we do believe that as soon as people would engage, whether they are coming, to provide something that is relevant or about growth, or to receive, they would bring more people to the community, because it will be beneficial to them. They would find a platform, they would find the stage, or just a place to gain that excellent growth. So we believe that people would connect their network to this idea, and we're really trusting that this would be one of our growth engines, actually.
Have you experienced that? And I don't mean to offend anybody listening, but it comes from a personal experience I had. So the question is, do you have a difficulty in your marketing as a company? Because you very clearly say it, second part of life, 50 years plus. Do you not feel like you're pushing people out who don't want to be, putting that ahead as an image, like I'm 50 plus? And the reason I'm asking is, like, I've said that myself recently. I think it was a year or two ago, but I was like looking around and I was, without realizing it, talking to my husband, and I was saying, we should get new friends. Like, all of our friends are like in their 40s. And he was looking at me like, how old do you think you are? and it's funny, because in your head, you feel like you haven't moved. And then you look around and everybody's 40 and like, what's happening? It's like, you too.
I totally agree. There is a term that's called ageism. It's it's kind of it's kind of a way that people are thinking about other people who are older, and also about themselves. Sometimes we do self-ageism, and we think about ourselves as too old. But I agree with you that there is a bias of the way that we perceive our age, downwards. It changes, by the way, in life. When you're when you're younger, you want to see yourself as older, especially when you're like a teenager. And then comes a time in life that you start thinking about yourself as younger than you are. But I want to say that I really believe that it's not about the age. It's not about the chronological age. It's about the perception. I know people who are 30 and they're, couch potatoes, and it would be very hard to get them, to do something really exciting or exotic. And on the other hand, I know people who are very, very old in terms of chronological age, but very young in their mind and their self-perception and capabilities. And these people would probably want to try everything. So I guess that it's more about like the conceptual or the mental age that each one perceives. But I think that in general, looking at we've mapped so many community centers and senior centers across the United States, and we realized that really there is a very short list of activities that are being offered to people who are 50, 60 plus. Really, really short. I would say that the top activities are it's less than 5. It's pickleball and and car playing and once again golf, and I feel that it's just it's such a shame. I personally feel that I would love to do activities now that I have the time and that I have the capabilities and the resources to do stuff. I would love to go back and do stuff that I thought of doing when I was 30 or 40. Why not? Why not DJing? Why not starting? I love music and I really like electronic music. I would love to start a DJ course. So what am I, 50? No, so what? I would love to surf. I feel capable in surfing. I have the fitness. I have the courage. I would love to go surfing, but the fact is that most of surfing classes are really targeting people who are 20s, and I feel less comfortable in joining a 20s, group. I don't feel that I have anything less, but I just feel less comfortable. That there was,
no, yeah, just as you're saying it, I think, yeah. I absolutely get you. I think I would find a crowd of 20 years olds really annoying now.
Yeah.
Like, without trying to disrespect any 20 years olds listening, but yeah.
Yeah. There's a recent research by AARP, which you're probably familiar with. It's the largest organization for senior people, and one of their findings, it was specifically about activities and that people are taking in this age. And one of their main findings that was very interesting and really supportive to our concept was that many people don't choose any activity because they fear because of they fear that their age wouldn't be fit. Okay, they feel that most people who participate in these activities are either too old or too young. So this is exactly the opportunity that we believe that exists, to offer people who are a little bit older activities that would be otherwise offered to millennials and people in so many there's so many hotel brands that are serving millennials around the globe, but not even one that serves this age bracket with a reasonable content program and experience program can be relevant to people in all ages.
Absolutely. No, I think, as you mentioned, we've advanced relatively quickly in that now we obviously, as a species, live much longer, but also we have a lot more quality years of life. No, it's not just about living to 100 on a bed.
Right.
We do, and it feels like a lot of sectors have not managed to adapt yet to match that.
I totally agree. This is probably the main driver around this concept. And I think the first one who wants to have such a concept existing is actually me.
Oh, we come to the bottom of it. You're selfish.
Yeah, and I'm telling all my friends are asking like, when are you opening? We really want to to sign in, because I feel that around my age group there is a huge need for that. People are they're hungry for doing something new. They really want to challenge themselves. They really don't want to think that that's it. And I'm talking about people who are relatively successful and have accomplished many things in life. But once again, the platform to find something in an environment that really supports this in a way that it's safe and it's enjoyable and it's acceptable is just missing.
I think, as you mentioned at the beginning, very huge part of it, I feel, is the community. It's like almost like people are waiting for someone to give them an excuse to go and actually do what they want to do anyway.
Yes, I agree. But this is how we are, I guess, as human beings. We get the inspiration and we learn from each other, whether it's directly or indirectly. That's just the way we serve ourselves. And I really believe that the community power is infinite. And sometimes what people need is just to get the inspiration, just to get the idea. Hey, this guy is doing that. I can do that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. Great. Last question. We're at the beginning of the year. So what are you looking forward to in 2024?
So we're looking at finalizing our first round of investment, hopefully in the first quarter. We're really hoping to be able to launch our first 2 locations, which have already been picked. One in Tulum in Mexico, really next to some of the largest expat communities of Americans that are out there in Mexico. It's a beautiful place, beautiful location. Very close to the beach, nestled in the jungle, across fresh water springs, a lot of spiritual experiences. A really enchanted place. And the other one is actually in Portugal, near Lisbon. I don't know if you know, but Portugal is considered to be the #1 retirement location. And for us, it was very important to really position our locations next to where people in places that people considered as relevant and attractive for retirement. So these are the 2 locations that we're planning to open this year, and hopefully we'll be able to speak later this year and to invite you to this location to experience everything we've talked about.
Wonderful. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much. We're going to include all the links to where people can reach you in the write-up for the podcast. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. It was a pleasure of mine. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in this episode of Smart Branding Podcast. Feel free to visit smartbranding.com for more information and reach out if you have any suggestions, questions, ideas, or just want to learn more about how a good domain name strategy can help you build a strong and successful brand. See you next time.